Hi Cancer, this is your October 2016 videos, and such a happening month actually, in a positive way, because all the planets are moving direct right now. We're not talking about Jupiter, Neptune and Pluto. These are the new planets, these are the invisible planets. We're talking about Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Mercury, all those important, basically the 5 visible planets that and Mars that basically that rule all the visible things in our life, that rule everything tangible, everything of not emotional experience only, but on physical reality. So it means that in regards to physical manifestations, we have the green light to move forward, and it's very rare to have such a rare moment of the planets, all the planets moving directly, all the important planets after all, the visible one moving directly in the emotion, which means new experiences are coming in our life. Actually, for the past 7-8 months, most of the planets at certain point were retrograde. Sometimes 3 or 4 at a time. We had Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, and Mercury at one moment, all together retrograde. That was a drag, because it slows things down, it makes you see the consequences of your past actions, it's kind of more karmic. It requires extra effort, it requires to fix mistakes and corrections to be made, and now finally we can move ahead with new lessons and with new opportunities, so to speak. All the planets moving ahead. Not only that, but all the cardinal signs, and you Cancers are one of the cardinal signs, are very strongly triggered by the planets, because currently the planets, 4 of those 5 important planets, so basically Jupiter, Mercury, the Sun, and Mars will be triggering your cardinal houses, basically the angles in your horoscope. So if this is Cancer, this is you, for example, it's here, the sign Cancer. Jupiter and the Sun and Mercury will be on angles, will be in your 4th house, and Mars will be in your 7th house. And the angular houses are the most important houses in astrology. They rule what we really care about, the pillars of our life. The 4th house is our emotional world, how we feel, our property, our family. What's more important than that? And the 7th house is our relationships, our marriage partner, our contracts and agreements in our life, and marriage partnerships and business partnerships. That's one of those pillars that make life worth living, or that are really determining for our overall happiness. So it means those cardinal houses, when they're triggered by planets, they bring new beginnings, and they really push us into action. So you Cancers will feel like an impulse to move ahead and start doing new things, especially in regards to those 2 houses that are triggered in your horoscope. So let's see, the first is the 4th house, where the Sun, Mercury and Jupiter are. And there is an ancient rule: when Mercury and Jupiter are together in the same sign, material manifestations of positive nature happen in that house. Not only opportunities coming, no, they are manifesting. Things are happening there. It's not just wishful thinking or you feeling more positive about that thing. No, you see good results there. And what is the 4th house? Is home, family, property. So if you happen to have your ascendant or moon, your ascendant, sun or moon, to a lesser degree the sun or moon, the ascendant is much stronger, always much more stronger. But if you happen to have it in Cancer, then they can be, and to maybe 20% chance sun or moon in Cancer, then there is a powerful trigger in your 4th house of property and family. So something good can happen in your family. Maybe some good news in regards to your mother, in regards to your father, in regards to your personal family. Maybe you can finally sell a home you've been trying to sell. Maybe finally you can get the money to do that repair at your home that you've wanted. Maybe you can finally find the right place to settle in and live. Maybe you can finally find the right roommates, something to do with your environment, the place you live. Maybe finally you can find the piece of land you wanted to buy. Or maybe you can do something in regards to your home which is positive, that you're happy about, that you're like, you see the results about that. And maybe finally settle in a place or something like that, And the 4th house is also emotionally how one feels, feelings within. And with those positive planets there, they can be some kind of resolution of feelings that have been painful in some sort. They can be like renewal of your spiritual inner soul, how you're feeling emotionally inside. On the material level though, because we're talking about material level, fourth house is also vehicle. Some of you might have an opportunity to buy a vehicle or to do something important in regards to your vehicles as well. Okay, so these are the things you can expect, or something happens good in regards to your family. It becomes a sort of support to you in regards to your mother in some way. Maybe you reconnect, you go back to your country of origin, or you go back to visit your town where you were born. Something important and positive happens there. Or you maybe just renovate your home, maybe just put a paint on the walls and make it nice, or finally buy some piece of furniture that you really wanted, that will make you feel happier at home, or that makes you've craved for some time. Okay, and it kind of creates security as well. The fourth house is the house of feeling of emotional security, the things that make us feel emotionally secure. You'll have more of them in October. You might be inclined to spend more time at home and in your privacy, but that's the right thing to do, because you're gathering up energy now, Cancers. You're kind of incubating a little bit and gathering up energy from your own castle, from your own home. And for Cancers, the fourth house is so important. For Cancers, that's why the home has to be so harmonious and beautiful, the environment, because Cancers naturally rules the home. And the fourth sign from Cancer is Libra, which is a very harmonious, beautiful, balanced sign. So for Cancers, that's why it's so important always for them to have beautiful, harmonious home, peaceful in a sense, where they feel peaceful, where they feel secure in some way. And Jupiter and Mercury and the Sun will be activating this fourth house, so focusing more on your feelings, focusing more on building connections with the family, rebuilding relationships and improving such relationships, reconnecting to your place of living and doing something important in regards to such property and matters of that nature. Okay, on another level we have Mars, which is moving for 2 months in your... Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that also Mercury and Jupiter will send the trine aspect. There is it's called special Rashi aspect to your 8th house, only to that one in Aquarius. They're aspecting Aquarius in a very special way, which is again manifestating aspect. And the 8th house for you, Cancers, is in Aquarius, which rules resources or finances from other people. You might receive some chunk of money if you've been expecting, or some loan from a bank, or maybe you can borrow. Maybe you've been waiting for some kind of resources or materials that you're finally able to access, because, or maybe the storage gives it to you to a lesser price, or the outletters give it to you to a lesser price. You can somehow benefit through resources of others. So you can ask for some support from another, and you can receive a loan or investment from another. Or maybe your husband or your business partner can bring in more finances or money that starts becoming visible and tangible for you now. Or maybe you sort out something with your taxes that can save you some money in some way, or maybe in something in regards to inheritance that can manifest in your life. And again, it's tangible, it's real, it's not just wishful thinking. Especially if your ascendant is in Capricorn, lesser degree Sun or Moon. Okay, and then we have Mars in your 7th house, Cancers. So Mars is about starting new things. Mars can stir up a bit of shit as well, can stir up the energy. But your 7th house is relationship. So on the negative side, let's start with the negative side. Mars in the 7th house can create a little bit of confrontation with partners. And it will be in your 7th house for about a couple of months, but you might feel it more intensely either in October or November, depending if you're early Cancers or later born Cancers, you know. So it's about, there is some kind of a confrontation that can happen. Someone can be pressing your buttons, because Mars is this kind of aggravating energy. Maybe your partner can infuriate you about something, business or personal partner. You know, maybe clients that you work with can be more demanding, more bossy, more easy to erupt, for example. 7th house, whenever Mars transits my 7th house, for me it's clients that I get feistier clients that are less patient, that push more. And this usually manifests in my life as well, with me getting less patient with my partners, and this kind of can backfire. But it's a quick influence, it's not going to create long-lasting results. Mars is not going to be retrograde in your 7th house, it will move fast through there and move ahead, so you can sort out. Mars creates the problems, but Mars is also the problem-solving planet. So it creates a problem, but it solves it as well. So and this time it will be fast, because Mars passes fast through your sign, you know. through that seventh house of yours. So you can, and sometimes it can make us burst out and speak up things that we've been hiding, that we've been, or a partner can come and say, okay, I want this now, or I need this from you, or you can say, okay, I need this from my partner, whatever. But you speak up, you're more aggressive, more, you go and you say what you want, you go after what you want when it comes to business partnership, personal partnerships, cooperating with someone. Others are less likely to be cooperative, and this kind of, it's a reflection of how you feel within, because you yourself are less likely to feel cooperative. But don't start open confrontation with others, because they have Mars. Mars, the planet of war, is in their house, in the seventh house of others. So you have to find a way to compromise around it and to be cool and not to overreact, and the problem will be solved pretty quickly. But on the positive side, you can use that energy of Mars to be very constructive and initiative with a partner or with clients, to start maybe some project with a partner, business or personal. Maybe your partner might be quite busy. Your marriage partner might be very active this month. For some reason, you can start working out together with your partner, for example, or you can have more sex. Mars in the seventh house raises the libido usually. It's more like this desire to reproduce, not reproduce, but to, it's not so romantic, but it's more raw, but definitely raises the sex drive, and it can bring more such experiences in your life while Mars is in the seventh house. And you can do some active, physically challenging or energy requiring activities in pairs with someone, having to cooperate with others in some way, or having to tackle some problem together in a pair. And if the problem comes from another person from outside, again, try not to confront directly, because those enemies, which is the seventh house, is open friends and open relationships and open enemies. They'll be quite in your face. But again, as I said, this thing passes quickly and you can solve it within a couple of weeks probably. Just don't overreact, not to complicate it a bit too much, and don't stress it too much. Don't think like, oh, this is the end of the world. No, it's not. It's gonna pass quickly. Okay. But definitely you also have a chance to be more initiative, more active with the partner. You have a chance to attract more physically athletic people around you. Maybe people that ask you to go out on treks on them, or people that ask you to tackle up some energy requiring project with them, you know, or you can approach such people. But that's how the positive energy of Mars can be used. And especially if you're a salesperson, Mars in the seventh house makes you go and you know, be more forceful in your sales, because seventh house is agreements, sales, moving forward. So you can be, or you can be scouting new agreements and sales, for example, because Mars is this soldier that plows forward, that doesn't turn back. And Mars in the seventh house of contracts, of negotiations, kind of contracts and negotiations are not so compromise prone right now, but you definitely can go and scout new search clients, be aggressively advertise more for new clients, aggressively go after new contracts or agreements of any sort, and even aggressively go after partners of some sort, because of your sex drive is increased and your desire is increased, and actually others can aggressively pursue you more, because seventh house is others. Seventh houses also can project, either you do it to others or others come and aggressively pursue you more and come after you more. Okay, so that's what I see for